guys, what's up? You are tuned into Music Box, where you can see the latest in American music videos. I'm your host, Maria Cozette, and today I have a fantastic show because my special guest is my dear friend and talented colleague, Alex Kalognomos. So stay tuned for a wonderful interview with him and, of course, fresh new music videos. This episode is dedicated to the iconic hip-hop producer Timbaland, so stay tuned. I have a lot of good music for you. And, of course, we're streaming online live. Go to youtube.com/Horizon Armenian TV. Check out Music Box on digital channel 31.6, airing from Santa Barbara to San Diego, and Charter Channel 3. Stay tuned for a dope show. Hey everyone, as promised, I am here with my wonderful guest. Always a pleasure to see him. Very talented writer, producer, and actor, Alex Kalognomos. How are you?
Hi Maria, I'm good. How are you?
Good,
Hello.
Good. I must say, Alex, shot kules.
Yes,
So,
shot kules.
yes, I love it that you're here. A lot of exciting and new things going on with you. And
That's
of
right.
course, you're my colleague here at Horizon.
That's right. We have our show here, Film Dialogue, and coming up in April, we're going to be doing documentaries dedicated to our culture, the Armenian genocide, recognition, and so stay tuned for a lot of new documentaries and films.
Yes, yes, and we're definitely getting to talk about Film Dialogue in a bit.
Yeah.
And so first and foremost, one of the latest things that has happened with you and your acting career is your little tour.
That's right.
To San Francisco, and we're talking about the Big Bad Armo show, of course, and you guys are no stranger to that. So let's talk about your experience in SF.
Well, if you know Lori Tatulian, she has a famous character that she does called Don Dikin, and from that, we built a show around that called the Big Bad Armo Show. We've done 4 shows in Southern California since 2009. And it's about 7 or 8 actors, and we do all different types of sketches. You know, like for example, one of our popular sketches is teaching your mom how to use the remote control when it stops to work. Or we have another sketch, it's called Mating in the Wild, which are the mating rituals of Armenians at networking mixers.
I love it.
So we have that, and if you want to see
Yes.
if you want to see a clip, one of our popular clips, on YouTube, if you punch in 1950s Armenian family Christmas, you're going to see the traditions of an Armenian family at Christmas time during the 1950s.
Yes, and actually, they're going to get a chance to watch it.
Yeah.
I just want to really quickly ask you before we cut to the clip, what are some of the, I know you play a lot of different characters, which are the ones that you enjoy the most?
I think the most popular one is the alpha male, the Armenian alpha male with the
cool guy?
watch and the pointy shoes and the hair doctor who gets all the girls at the mixers. But I do a lot of different characters. We all get to play. We get to play old people, young people. Sometimes there's actors playing women and all different types of comedy going on. And we have a show coming up in May in Visalia, and then followed up in Fresno. We just got back from a tour in San Francisco. So hopefully we'll be back in Glendale or Hollywood soon.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's really exciting, the whole creative process, rehearsals and stuff. What's the dynamics in the room?
It's insane, it's crazy, because you have all of these very talented writers, directors, working actors, with all different styles of comedy. Some people are trained in like more, solo stand-up performance. Then you have other actors who do sketch comedy and have trained at the Groundlings. Then you get people like me. I come from much more like an independent film background. James Martin comes from a very a theatrical background, like Shakespeare. Then we have an actor like Ludwig Manukyan who does a lot of TV and film.
Nice.
We all come together and we just pull from our culture.
Blend, yeah.
It's a really good blend.
That's awesome.
It's really
fun. Well, let us cut to the clip. Enjoy. This is the Big Bad Armo show. A cool, very, very cool skit. Check it out.
The Glendale Department of Community Relations Cultural Outreach Program is proud to present the American Guide to Armenian Traditional Dining for the Christmas holidays. Christmas dinner at the home of an Armenian family can be a splendid and rewarding experience. It is a time around the table that is filled with food, conversation, and social activity. Here we have the Hovsepian family gathered around the family room table getting ready to enjoy their Christmas dinner. before the meal begins, a Chashagutsu prayer is said, which invariably leads Grandma to throw her arms in the air, lamenting with great fervor. There she is, lamenting away. After the prayer ends, Nene excuses herself to go fold the laundry. And now it's time to dig in. Enjoying that kebab, Gevork? Yummy! Here, have some more. Auntie Helga sure looks hungry. Looks like Sarkis is telling another one of his jokes. There's no shortage of cigarettes at this table. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Why, looky here. Andronik is showing us where Armenia is on a map. Neato! Time for another drink? Don't mind if I do. Why, look, it's the Hovsepian's neighbor, Odar Bob. They must have invited him over to join in the family dinner as a sign of goodwill. And also because he sits on the city's planning department and has the authority to approve of the 3,000 square foot expansion to their 1,200 square foot home. Hi, everyone. Armenian greetings can be a bit daunting for an American. A typical hello usually involves a kiss on the cheek. But watch out, Odar Bob, the men also say hello with a kiss on the cheek. Now don't get your knickers in a bunch, Bob. It's not an act of homosexuality, it's just how they say hi. Have a seat, why don't ya? I hope you've brought your appetite, Bob. Armenians love to feed their guests. Yes, this age-old tradition stems from the old country, where having bountiful amounts of food in your home was a sign of prosperity, and sharing that food with the neighbors was a way for the family to show their goodwill to their fellow man. Of course, it doesn't matter if you've come with an appetite or not. Armenians will feed you even if you've already eaten. Remember, Bob, it's a cardinal sin to refuse food from an Armenian. If you don't eat what they offer you, it will come across as insulting and ungrateful. Time for some dinner conversation, huh, Bob? Maybe I should have warned you there, Bob. If it's one thing Armenians like to talk about, it's Armenia. Trust me, your head will spin with all the facts and tips about the old country. Armenia was the first this, and Armenia was the first that. You'll hear claims about the oldest shoe, the invention of beer, wine, carpeting, and agriculture. But the biggest claim to fame Armenians have is that they were the first nation to adopt Christianity. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Bob. Uh-oh, what's this? Looks like an argument has broken out at the dinner table. Little Gevork has decided to give up school and become a musician despite his parents' wish to become a lawyer. Don't worry, Bob. An argument around an Armenian dinner table is as common as tornadoes in the Midwest. It's best to just sit still and let the eye of the storm pass by. Looks like Gevork might lose this one. And now it's time for a toast. Cheers! You're not done yet, Bob. Here comes another one. A toast to good health. Cheers, folks! Still not done toasting, Bob. Here's a toast to prosperity. Cheers! Oops, still not done. How about a toast to all the dead relatives who couldn't be here tonight? Cheers! Yes, multiple toasts are part of every traditional Armenian dinner. Just when you think there couldn't be a topic that hasn't been covered, they'll find one and toast to it. No topic is too trite. While they'll even say a toast for every single individual strand of hair on your head, Bob, as long as they can continue to raise their glasses. Cheers! Alcohol is a very important part of the Armenian culture, Bob. Other than inventing it, they also claim to be masters of consuming it. Armenian men are expected to hold their own when it comes to consuming alcohol. If you can't polish an entire bottle of wine, vodka, or Johnny Walker Black Label, then maybe you should go find a seat at the kiddie table, Bob. And now it's time to retire to the den for a little family recreation. Music and singing is an integral part of the Armenian culture. It accompanies them throughout all of their life's most significant moments. The good times and the bad. Looks like Seta's having quite the ball there. Good times, huh, Sarkis? Uh-oh. It looks like Bob may have had a bit too much to drink there. Careful, Bob. Careful. Oops. Looks like it's lights out for Odar Bob. Needless to say, he did pretty well for his first Armenian dinner. And it looks like the Hovsepians will be getting that 3,000 square foot expansion after all.
That was awesome. And of course, you could just type in Big Bad Armo Show on YouTube and you'll get a bunch of hilarious results. And now moving on to some of the more serious stuff you're doing in upcoming projects. You are working on a phenomenal film coming up. It's called Three Apples Fell from Heaven. So let's talk about that.
This was a book written by Micheline Aronian Marcom in 2001. Won many awards, incredible novel about the events of 1915, the genocide relating to Harpert.
Okay. So
all of the people in that town and all of their stories, a young girl, an older woman, the men in the village, the Turks in the village, and this incredible novel. I was a part of a reading in 2001. I got to meet the author, and then about 4 or 5 years later, we did a fundraiser to try to raise money for the film, for a future filmed version of the book. And it's taken 11 years, Maria. It's the hardest thing to get a film financed. It's the hardest thing.
I can imagine.
It's the hardest thing to really build the right team. But then it was adapted into a screenplay by Jose Rivera, who wrote and was nominated for an Oscar for writing Motorcycle Diaries, and his wife.
Oh, that's an incredible
film.
movie, yeah.
For anyone who's had the chance to see that film, Motorcycle Diaries, it's one of those films that it's a landmark film in independent filmmaking. So Jose's wife, Sona Tatoyan, who's an incredible producer, she's in Armenia now, if she's watching. Hi, Sona. She's basically spearheading the production of this film. She's a producer, and we have French co-producers. And we were all in Armenia last October.
I know, how was that?
It was awesome. I mean, our director, Shaker Kapoor is the director of Elizabeth.
Oh, okay.
Which was nominated for like 8 Academy Awards.
Right.
It starred Cate Blanchett. So he's helming this project with the script by Shaker Kapoor, with producers that are like incredible. Edgar Tenenbaum, who's based in France. We are just now trying to put together the financial structure of this film, figuring out where it's going to be filmed, how it's going to be filmed, and trying to really launch it for 2015, for the 100th anniversary of the genocide. It's an incredible story too. If you haven't read the book, Three Apples Fell from Heaven, a stunning novel.
And where could people pick up the novel?
I think you can go online and order it on Amazon. I have a couple of copies. I'd be happy to lend them to you, but I mean, they're my copies.
So
I treasure them. But if you want to read it, Maria, I can get you a copy.
Wonderful. So that's awesome.
That's right.
Being on the production aspect of things. I know that you've produced before, but working on a feature film is
it's a different thing. I mean, I co-produced a short film called Spaceman on Earth, which was a film directed by Shanta Massian. It premiered at the Cannes Film Festival. That was amazing in 2009. I'm co-producing this film. It's a feature film, and if you want to learn more about it, we have a Facebook page. You go to Facebook and just punch in Three Apples Fell from Heaven and be a part of our community and help us to promote this film. We've had so many people reach out to us and talk about their grandparents were Harpetsi, or they shared, experience similar to what transpired in this novel. So it's been incredible for us.
Yeah, and I think that definitely as an an Armenian, if you're an Armenian watching, I feel like it's our responsibility to support big projects like this with a huge meaning behind it. And if you're not Armenian, you know, it was a huge crime against humanity, as I tell my non-Armenian friends that. So either way, you should support, is my point.
That's what the point of this entire thing is. I think that's one of the reasons why it's been so hard to make films about the Armenian genocide. There have been some incredible films, Atamoygoyan's film, Ararat, but they're so difficult to make because I think there's a lack of real unity towards this vision of making a film. So that's what we have to do. We just have to support each other. And there's many projects in the works. This is one of them.
Nice. I'm so proud of you,
Thank
Alex.
you. Thank you.
So on to more things that I'm proud of you about is that you produce 2 big film festivals every year. So let's talk about that.
The festivals. Well, the first festival that very close to my heart is called ARPA International Film Festival.
Yes.
We just had our 15th anniversary.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Congrats.
15 years of presenting cinema in independent international cinema in Los Angeles. We staged it at the Egyptian Theater, and it was basically part of the ARPA Foundation for Film, Music, and Art, which was founded by Sylvia Minassian. And because of her, a lot of filmmakers have gotten distribution deals, and films have been acquired, and films have been taken to a whole other level. One of them was this my uncle Raphael directed. It was starring Vahik Pirhamzeh, and it was in theaters last September, nationwide. And so that's what we do. We try to support these films. That film was a comedy, and get them to a wider audience.
And she's,
oh no, that's okay, go ahead.
She's, I had to get this out. I had the pleasure of meeting her last year at Maria Cozette's event.
That's right.
And she has such this like presence, strong presence about her. So it was a pleasure meeting her, and I can imagine it's exciting to collaborate with someone
She's
like that.
always been so supportive, and whatever she can do for the
loves
festival.
You. She's like, I love Alex.
We love her too. You know, she's a seminal filmmaker and an actress and an award-winning actress. So she comes down, she talks, she engages with the filmmakers. So if you're a filmmaker out there, we're really here to support you. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what genre of filmmaking you want to make. Music videos, animations, feature films, documentaries, short or long. Check out afma.org. That's AFFMA.org. That's the ARPA Film Festival. Then I have another film festival that I do, which is a Greek film festival in Los Angeles. It's smaller, but the films are incredible. And this year, it's coming up June 6th to 9th at the Writers Guild in Beverly Hills. And in fact, we have this incredible screening coming up. It's Elia Kazan, who directed this film called America, America, which actually was about a Greek and Armenians best friends and how they come to America. A beautiful film. We're doing a revival of one of his films called Man on a Tightrope on the lot at 20th Century Fox.
Nice.
That's April 20th, and if you want to find out more about that, you can go to the website for the Greek Film Festival, and that's LAGFF.org. Tickets to that are like $15. It's a nonprofit, so we try to make it affordable for everybody.
So the screening for the film is April 20th,
That's
and
right.
then the festival is in June.
It's in June, exactly.
Got
so it's
it.
like a precursor. We're trying to get everybody on board, let them know that we have a festival coming up. It's in Beverly Hills at the Writers Guild. You don't have to be Greek, but if you love supporting Greek cinema, because they have their own place in the world of cinema. It's a great event and a really fun event. Greeks, you know.
Well, didn't theater start with them?
Who?
Didn't theater start with the Greeks?
Yes, it did.
So,
It did.
well,
I mean, all roads lead back to the Greeks in one way or another.
Yeah.
Listen, you're testing me on my classics
Alex.
here, Maria. I don't know if I'm ready for this.
I love it. Well, stay tuned. We have a lot more for you after this break. We are back with the incredibly talented actor, writer, and producer, Alex Kalognomos. So just a little bit about you emceeing events. You're absolutely dynamic on stage, always a great delivery and representation of any event that you do. So what are some of the organizations that you work with or events that you MC?
Well, we've emceed events together. Basically, I love emceeing events. For me, it's an opportunity to support the incredible organizational work that our community does, and across the arts, across fundraising for charitable organizations. I just did an event for the Armenian American Chamber of Commerce on International Women's Day. It was like all of these incredible women. There were like 20 women on stage, and they're all like doctors and lawyers and teachers, and they've all founded organizations. So basically, an organization will call me, they'll invite me to help prepare a script, and really figure out the flow of the show.
Right.
Move it fast, make it funny, engage people, and really just put on a show.
And it is pretty difficult.
It's hard.
Yeah, hosting an event is not easy.
It's hard because you have 300, 400, 500 people, and they're like there, and they're just looking at you like, make me laugh.
Yeah, do something.
Say something interesting, because my fish dinner is more interesting than
Yeah.
What's going on up there. That's what it's like.
Yeah, exactly. And I found even like singing at an event is easier for me than hosting, because singing, I already have my song, I'm ready to go. And hosting, no matter how much you write the script, there's still room for improvising. Things come up halfway through, and then. Of course, for charitable organizations, there are different agendas that you have to stress and mention. So, yeah, it is quite a duty.
You have to get to know the organization.
Exactly.
And, become really familiar with them. I always like to know who are the people behind the organization, make it personal, tell funny stories about them. And then also just to keep it very fresh and lively.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. That's hard.
So what about your work with the Oscars, Emmys?
That's a good job. I'm very lucky to have. I'm honored to have that job. Basically, for like the last 5 or 6 years, I work with a company called Sequoia Productions, and they stage the Governor's Ball for the Oscars and the Emmys, and it's basically the first party right after the show.
It's a big deal.
It's right after the show, and it's hosted by the Academy. So for the Emmys, it's the Academy of Television, and for the Oscars, the movies, it's the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. So they have this show, and then after the award show, which we all see on TV, the guests that are invited, they get to go, across the street or upstairs and go to the ball.
Right.
It's the Governor's Ball, and it's this dinner catered by Wolfgang Puck, and everyone is so glamorous, and sometimes you see it's a year of work. The company works around the year to stage this event. And I work with the most incredible team, and so I've gotten to do that now for 5 years. Every year there's a different theme, there's different performers.
That's so cool.
It's really cool. They pay attention to everything. They pay attention to the lighting, the decor, the entertainment, the food, the drinks, what you're gonna experience.
Yeah, and because it's predominantly entertainers, they actually appreciate it, so that's nice.
They really do.
Yeah.
They really do. And it's so fun to watch them come if they've won an award that night, and they walk around the room.
Oh, and they're glowing.
And they're glowing.
That's cool.
And you look, and there's Oprah, and
You're like, hey,
oh my
Oprah,
God, it's
hi.
amazing. Oh no, I'm always running around. I'm like trying to make sure that I'm supporting everyone in the team and make sure like it's a flawless experience. But sometimes you get to go through the room when you're doing a task, and you see them, I remember the most incredible thing was when Sandra Bullock won, and she was wearing that like beautiful gold dress. She looked like an Oscar, and she was holding her dress like that, and she was just, it was incredible.
Yeah,
it was incredible.
That's awesome that you get to experience that.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. For me, it's that kind of award show work fits right into what I was doing and talking about before, like hosting events or emceeing events. It's all trained me to do that. Nice. So, yeah.
Nice. Well, we must, before we leave you, we must come back and speak about Film Dialogue. Your show is dope.
Thank you so much.
I love it.
We're really proud of it.
Yeah, it's very fresh to Armenian television. I absolutely love it. What are some things that we can anticipate coming up?
We're going to continue to bring you the best in international cinema from independent filmmakers from all over the world. We love getting films that you haven't seen before on TV. And Film Dialogue, you can see it right here on Channel 3 on Charter at 9:30 on Friday nights. It's an exclusive of a film that we've never shared before. Filmmakers from Armenia, when they are in town, we get a chance to interview them and talk about them. And anytime you get a chance to meet an artist like that who's like died for their art, it's pretty inspiring.
Yeah, that is very inspiring. And yes, Film Dialogue and Music Box, you can catch them both on digital channel 31.6, airing from Santa Barbara to San Diego, and of course Charter channel 3, and streaming online always youtube.com/Horizon Armenian TV. Alec, Alex, such a pleasure to have you here. I love it. You're a good friend, an incredible person.
Thank you.
And you always deliver at anywhere I've seen you as an actor, producer, or a writer.
Thank you so much,
pleasure
Maria.
to have you here.
And thank you for having this show for all of us to come on and share what we do with your audience. You're awesome.
Thank you. That's about it with Alex Kalognomos. Of course, check him out on Film Dialogue and stay tuned for some fresh new music videos.